Ricky xin chào quý cô chú anh chị. Đây là 37 câu hỏi yes no trong đơn N400 cùng với các từ what mình thường gặp trong buổi phỏng vấn quốc tịch Mỹ. Tổng cộng có 90 từ vựng quan trọng mà quý cô chú anh chị cần hiểu rõ và có thể giải thích ý nghĩa, vì trong quá trình phỏng vấn, người phỏng vấn có thể yêu cầu mình giải thích các từ này. Quý cô chú anh chị nên cố gắng học và nắm vững càng nhiều từ what mình càng tốt, vì điều này sẽ giúp mình tự tin hơn khi bước vào buổi phỏng vấn.
Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way?
No.
What does claim mean?
To say something is true.
Do you know what claim to be a U.S. citizen means?
To state that you are a U.S. citizen.
Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
What does vote mean?
To elect new leaders.
Do you understand what register is?
To sign up.
Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what owe taxes means?
To owe the government money.
What does overdue mean?
Past a deadline.
What does owe mean?
To have a debt.
Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return? Or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident?
No.
Do you understand what non-resident alien is?
Person who has not passed the green card test.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world?
No.
What does Communist Party mean?
Like China, North Korea.
What is a totalitarian party?
Government controls everything and people have no power.
Have you ever advocated or been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any group anywhere in the world that advocated any of the following? Opposition to all organized government, world communism, the establishment in the United States of a totalitarian dictatorship, the overthrow by force or violence or other unconstitutional means of the government of the United States, or all forms of law, the unlawful assaulting or killing of any officer or officers of the government of the United States, or of any other organized government, because of their official character, the unlawful damage, injury, or destruction of property or sabotage.
No.
Do you know what advocate means?
To support.
What does overthrow mean?
To remove a government from power.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property?
No.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that engaged or participated in kidnapping, assassination, or hijacking or sabotage of an airplane, ship, vehicle, or other mode of transportation?
No.
Can you explain what kidnap is?
To take someone away illegally.
Can you explain what sabotage is?
To destroy something.
What does assassination mean?
An action of killing someone.
Do you know what hijack means?
To stop and steal a moving airplane.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that threatened, attempted, conspired, prepared, planned, advocated for, or incited others to commit kidnapping, assassination, hijacking, sabotage, or use a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person, or cause damage to property?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in torture?
No.
What does incite mean?
To encourage.
Do you know what torture means?
To hurt someone physically.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in genocide?
No.
Do you understand what genocide means?
To kill a whole race.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in killing or trying to kill any person?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in injuring or trying to injure any person intentionally and severely?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in any kind of sexual contact or activity with any person who did not consent or was unable to consent, or was being forced or threatened by you or by someone else?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in, causing harm or suffering to any person because of their race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion?
No.
Can you explain what national origin means?
Where a person is from.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in not letting someone practice their religion?
No.
Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any military or police unit?
No.
What does police unit mean?
A group that protects community.
Can you explain what military unit is?
A group that works for the government.
Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any armed group? For example, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, or guerrilla group?
No.
What does self-defense unit mean?
A group that protects a place.
What is a paramilitary unit?
Like a military group, but is not official.
Can you explain what vigilante unit is?
A group that acts like the police, but are not the police.
Do you know what a rebel group is?
A group that fights a government.
What is a guerrilla group?
A group that uses weapons to attack the government.
Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained? For example, a prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people?
No.
Do you know what detained means?
Held in custody by police.
Can you explain what prison means?
A place where prisoners are kept.
What is a jail?
A place where prisoners are kept.
Do you know what prison camp is?
A place to keep enemy soldiers.
Do you know what a labor camp is?
A place to force people to work.
What is a detention facility?
A place where people are forced to stay.
Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so?
No.
What does threaten mean?
To warn to hurt someone.
Can you explain what weapon is?
Like a knife or gun.
When you were part of this group, or when you helped this group, did you ever use a weapon against another person?
No,
When you were part of this group, or when you helped this group, did you ever threaten another person that you would use a weapon against that person?
no,
Have you ever sold, provided, or transported weapons, or assisted any person in selling, providing, or transporting weapons, which you knew or believed would be used against another person?
no,
Have you ever recruited, enlisted, conscripted, or used any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed group, or attempted or worked with others to do so?
no,
Do you understand what conscript is?
To require someone to join the army.
What does enlist mean?
To sign up in the armed forces.
Can you explain what recruit means?
To ask.
Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training?
no,
Do you understand what military type training is?
Learning to fight in combat.
What does paramilitary training mean?
Learning to fight in combat.
Do you know what weapons training is?
To learn how to use a gun.
Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities, or attempted or worked with others to do so?
no,
What does hostilities mean?
Fighting in a war.
Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
no,
Do you know what arrested means?
Handcuffed by the police.
Do you know what crime means?
An action that breaks the law.
Do you understand what commit a crime is?
To do something that breaks the law.
What does offense mean?
A minor crime.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military officer, in the U.S. or elsewhere, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense?
no,
Can you define charged?
Police tell you that you did something illegal.
Do you understand what cited is?
Given a ticket by police.
Can you explain what confined means?
To be kept in a place.
If you received a suspended sentence, were placed on probation, or were paroled, have you completed your suspended sentence, probation, or parole? Do you know what suspended sentence means?
Delaying of a sentence.
What does parole mean?
The early release of a prisoner.
What is a probation?
You report to an officer regularly instead of jail time.
Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country?
No.
What does manufacture mean?
To make something.
Do you know what controlled substances means?
You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions.
Do you understand what smuggle is?
To take things to a country illegally.
Do you know what produce means?
To make something.
Do you understand what distribute is?
To supply something.
Can you explain what drug paraphernalia means?
Equipment to make illegal drugs.
What is cultivate?
To grow plants.
What does illegal drugs or narcotics mean?
Like heroin or cocaine.
What does dispense mean?
To supply something.
Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempt to procure or import prostitutes, or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any money or proceeds from prostitution?
No.
What does prostitute mean?
Someone who has sex for money.
Can you explain what procure means?
To find someone for sex.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No.
What does immigration benefit mean?
Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship.
Have you ever helped anyone to enter or tried to enter the United States illegally?
No.
Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time?
No.
Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling?
No.
Do you understand what gamble means?
To play a game for money.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what public benefit means?
Welfare, like food stamps.
Do you know what misrepresentation is?
To lie or give wrong information.
Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony?
No.
Can you explain what pay alimony is?
To pay money to an ex-spouse after a divorce.
Do you know what dependent is?
Someone who relies on another person.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No.
Can you explain what fraudulent means?
To claim something that is not true.
What is misleading?
Giving the wrong idea.
What does false mean?
Not true.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States, or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States?
No.
Do you understand what admission into the United States is?
The right to enter the United States.
What does lie mean?
To say something that is not true.
Have you ever been placed in removal, rescission, or deportation proceedings?
No.
What does deportation proceedings mean?
Process of removing a person.
Do you know what rescission means?
To take back a decision.
Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States?
No.
What does deport mean?
To force a person to leave a country.
Are you a person born as a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays?
No.
Did you register for the Selective Service?
No.
Do you know what Selective Service is?
Services in armed forces under law.
Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What does drafted mean?
Being selected as a soldier.
Do you understand what avoid being drafted is?
To prevent being selected as a soldier.
Do you know what U.S. Armed Forces are?
U.S. military, Navy, Air Force.
Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No,
Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country?
no,
What does hereditary title mean?
A royal title, like prince or princess.
What is an order of nobility?
Like king or queen.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
yes,
Do you know what Constitution means?
It is the supreme law of the land.
What is the form of government of the United States?
Republic.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
yes,
Can you explain what oath of allegiance means?
A promise to be loyal to the United States.
Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment?
no,
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
yes,
What does bear arms mean?
To own or use a gun.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
yes,
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
yes,
Can you explain what non-combatant services means?
Services that do not involve combat.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
yes,
What is the work of national importance?
Tasks that are important to a nation.
Do you know what civilian is?
A person who is not in the military.
What is a civilian direction?
A direction from a person who is not in the military.